I appreciate that. Right, Act 5, Scene 1. So, let's do a little bit of a setting, please. Grab your pens. So the setting of this is this Lady Macbeth's chamber, right? So her bedroom or her sort of her private chambers. Okay. I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it last she walked? Okay. Now this here, what he's referring to, of course, is sleep walking. Okay. But he's been watching. So 2 nights I've watched with you, but he says no truth. So he's doubting the woman's report, but he's been observing her, right? So for 2 nights I've watched. For 2 nights I've watched, and I can't see any truth. When did she last sleepwalk? Gentlewoman. Yeah, good. So this is what she's been doing, right? And there's a few things she says here. So I've seen her rise from her bed. So she gets out of bed, throws her nightgown upon her. So she gets out of bed, she puts on her clothes. She unlocks her closet. Now again, notice this bit here, right? So in her closet, she's got something secret. She unlocks her closet, takes paper, folds the paper, writes on the paper, reads it, seals it, and goes back to bed. Right? So she gets up, puts on her clothes, goes to one of her open closets. Here we go. Right? Takes out a piece of paper, folds it up really small, writes on it, reads it, puts it back in the closet, and goes to bed. What do you think she's writing? Maybe. I have no idea, is the point. I have no idea what she's writing. But usually, when people write stuff down, they're trying to, when people write down on paper, they're trying to clear their thoughts. So I'm going to suggest 2 things to you here, right? So one, potentially, it's confessions. She's writing down confessions, or she's trying to sort of clear her mind, right? You ever heard that idea of someone like trying to clear their mind? So like Macbeth, for example, when he's full of doubts and fears, they so often say to people who have mental health issues, write it down. If you write it down, you feel better. So there's a kind of, I guess there's kind of like an anxiety in her mind that she's trying to clear from her brain, but of course she can't. A great perturbation in nature. Now, this here, the sleepwalking thing, is kind of interesting. Remember, earlier on, they say that Macbeth has murdered sleep, right? So she can't sleep either. And the doctor says it's unnatural, right? Perturbation means like messed up, right? It's unnatural. Hello? Sorry? Yes. Sure. Where's it? Where to? Okay. Thank you. Now tell them you're also on the excellence trip, so you need to go to reception. But don't worry, you can watch this later. Okay. As many times as you want to, 3 or 4 times if you wanted to. It's unnatural, right? So she has become, and we're very close. She has become the very unnatural monster that she wanted to be at the beginning. The whole unsex me here thing. This is what she has done. She has made herself into something that is monstrous. Okay? A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, great quote, slumbery agitation. So slumbery means to be asleep, agitation means to be disturbed. Besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say? So what is she saying in her sleep? Gentlewoman. I will not report after her, right? So he says, I will not say, oh, you made to me, and 'tis most meet you should. Yeah, good. Now the doctor tells her this, right? Because there's a thing. You might have heard of this. Doctor-patient confidentiality. Heard of that? Confidentiality, which means if you tell your doctor something, they're not allowed to tell anybody else, right? Unless you've done a crime, and then they probably would. So he says, you can tell me, I'm a doctor, you can trust me, right? And she says, neither you or anyone, right? No. Having no witness to confirm my speech. Having no witness to confirm my speech. Why won't she tell it? So she's heard Lady Macbeth saying stuff, right, in her sleep. And she says, I won't tell anybody, having no witness to confirm that I saw what I saw. Good. So, but why does that worry her? I mean, what kind of things has Lady Macbeth been saying? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what's she been saying? She's been confessing murder, right? So if the gentlewoman, if the doctor says that you told me that she says she did a murder, Lady Macbeth says I didn't do that, then it's her word against her word, and because Lady Macbeth is the queen, the gentleman will be executed for treason. Says, I will not repeat what she has said without somebody to back up that also saw it as well. Because, essentially, no witness means it's a risk to her life. Yes? Okay. Enter Lady Macbeth with a taper. Now, a taper is a thin candle. You use them often to light other candles. Right? Now, what are you thinking? How do you light the taper? Good question. Right? They weren't like Zippos in those days. How came she by that light? How came she by that light, gentlewoman? Oh, sorry, I missed a bit, didn't I? You missed a bit. You missed a bit. Here we go. Let's go from here. Go low, you. Yeah, she's asleep, but she's got a candle. And the doctor goes, where did she get that candle from? Because she's asleep, right? But she came by that light. Gentlewoman. Yeah, look at this. This is a good quote here, right? She has light by her continually. What does that mean? She always has a candle with her. Always. What's she scared of? The dark, yes. Right? She's scared of the dark. Now, there's many reasons why she might be scared of the dark. Firstly, because of her devilish actions and the idea that the night comes with witches and demons. But also, with the dark comes sleep, and she's scared of sleeping because she has nightmares. But she is scared of the dark. She's always got a candle. Her eyes are open. You see, her eyes are open. Yeah, so eyes are open, senses shut. So she's awake and asleep. Okay, it's a weird middle ground. What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands. Yeah, so she spends 15 minutes straight washing her hands, right? Notice it's an accustomed action, which means that it's a habit. So she spends, now, 15 minutes doesn't seem very long, but think about how long 15 minutes is to spend rubbing your hands, right? During COVID, they tried to get people to wash their hands for 1 minute by making them sing happy birthday. Remember that? Yeah? So 15, it's a long time. But she's there rubbing her hands 15 minutes straight, trying to clean her hands, right? Right, would anyone want to play a bad Lady Macbeth? If you've always wanted to play her, this is her last part. Oh, I can do it. You want to do it? You got to be mad though. Like mad. You're asleep. Go on then.
Yeah, here's the spot.
That's not mad. More mad. Yeah, here's a spot. Right? Mad.
Yeah, here's the spot.
Yeah. Right. So spot. This is of blood. Right. Now, of course, the point is, it is imaginary. Right. There is no blood on her hands. It is imaginary. Hark! She speaks. Hark means listen. She speaks. I will set down what comes from her. Right? So he's going to record what she says. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance more strongly. Okay? To remember later on, right? For his notes.
Out, damn spot. Out, I say. 1, 2. Why then? It's time to do it. Hell is murky. Fire, my lord, fire. A soldier and a fear. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man had so much blood in him?
Good. Now, this is very, very hard to analyse, because what she's doing here is, this is what we call is fragmented thoughts. Now, the way our thoughts work is that we don't often think of things in linear ways. You get this out? We tend to think in fragments, right? So she says, out damn spot, out I say. Right, I'm going to do slashes where her thoughts change. So the first thought is, get the blood off my hands. 1, 2, why then? 'Tis time to do it. Right? Second thought, do what? 1, 2, 'tis time to do it. What could the 1, 2 be? Bing, bing, yeah? Yeah, it's Duncan, right? So the 1 and the 2 is the clock, right? 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Bing, bing, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord. That's a new thought there. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, a soldier and afeard. Who's she talking to here? You're a soldier and you're afraid. You're a soldier and you're afraid. Yeah? Yes, good. Right, Macbeth. So remember the bit in the play, Act 1, Scene 7, where he's like, I won't do it. I won't do it. So she's having all these memories, but they're in the wrong order, right? There's blood on my hands, right? Does she ever get blood on her hands? Yes, she does. She takes the daggers back. She says, my hands are the colour of yours, but I shame to her heart so white. So this one is from 2.2. This one is from 2.1. Okay? This one is from 1.5, where she says, unsex me here. Fie, my lord, a soldier and afeard. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? So who cares that we killed the king when nobody can challenge us anyway? When's that from? I'll tell you. That's from 3.2. Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? Right, and again, this one here, the old man to have so much blood in him, is from 2.2. Now they used to believe back in these days, again, more sort of weird, fake science. They used to think that because blood was the liquid that gave you strength, when you got older, your blood went dry. So they believe that if you stabbed an old man, what you get is like blood dust will come out. Right? Because they thought blood gave you power. Old people get weak, so they thought there's less blood in them. So she's like, I can't believe the old man has so much blood in him. Right? So again, there's this idea about the murder. Okay? But here's the key thing, right? It's about fragmented thoughts. Her brain is like going back through all the things they did in totally random, crazy ways. She's having these conversations with Macbeth, but they're all like kind of mixed up. Do you mark that?
The famous five had a wife. Where she now? What? Will his hands marry clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mark all this to this side.
Good. The Thane of Fife had a wife. Who was the Thane of Fife? Macduff, right? So this, of course, is 4.2, where they murder Macduff's wife. Okay? What will these hands never be clean? So she goes back again to 2.2, right? Can't get the blood out of our hands. No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You'll mar all this with starting. So she's trying to calm him down. So this is back again to 3.2/3.4. Okay? Now look, it doesn't really matter, like the scenes don't matter hugely. What matters is you understand that her brain has been scrambled, right? That she's going back to the past, reliving all the things that they've done, and they're like coming back to her like nightmares. Okay? What does she say to Macbeth in Act 2, Scene 2, when he says, "Look at the blood on my hands"? Good, very good, right? A little water clears us of this deed. So she was wrong, right? She was wrong. She says to him, "Don't be such a wuss about it. Wash your hands, you'll be fine." Okay, but she doesn't understand. She gets it wrong, right? Doctor, it's me. Go to. You have known what you should not. You have known what you should not. So here's the same thing that she says. He says, "Oh my God, she's admitting to murders, and now we've heard it. This is terrible, right? We're in danger." Gentlewoman. Yeah, so heaven knows what she has known. There's only about the sins that she's committed. Lady.
Here's the son of God still. All the perfumes in the radio will not speak to me. Oh,
Yeah. Remember, O's are emotion, right? So the emotion here is pain, right? This is a great metaphor, by the way, for analysing. All the perfumes of Arabia. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Okay? So she talks about blood, about the smell of blood. So she can't cover the smell. That irony blood smell. It says all the perfumes of Arabia cannot sweeten this little hand. So Arabia at the time, they knew very little about Arabia. So you think about like Saudi Arabia. What they did think was that it was this kind of like exotic, almost sort of magical place. They believed that in Arabia you would find an animal called a phoenix. You ever heard of a phoenix before? Come and tell me about a phoenix. Go on, Soph, what's a phoenix? It's a firebird, right? Now the phoenix, the thing the phoenix could do was the phoenix could be reborn. So a phoenix was a bird of fire that could erupt itself and rebirth. So there's an idea here about Arabia is about being reborn. That she's like, I cannot start again. I can't be like the Arabian phoenix. I can't begin again. I'm too weighed down with my guilt. Oh, what a size there. The heart is sorely charged, right? So there's an idea about sin, right? Remember, the heart is about your soul, okay? Yeah. Now this bit here, the dignity of the whole body, what she means here is she means to be queen. She's like, I would not exchange my lowly position to be queen if it meant it came with that much agony. But of course the irony here, is that this is what they do. This is what Macbeth plus Lady Macbeth do. They exchange their happiness for power. So gentlewoman, this is really, in a way, this is the play's message, right? Would you swap your mental health, your happiness, for power? Would you swap it? That's exactly what they do, right? Well. This disease is beyond my practice. I can't cure her, right? She is incurable. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds. So it is possible to sleepwalk and be a good person.
Wash your hands, not on your right now, and look not so pale. I tell you yet again, like Chris buried, he cannot come out on you.
Yeah, right. So, still having the crazy thoughts, right? Wash your hands! Put on your nightgown. So that is, again, back to 2.2 with the bloody hands. Put on your nightgown is actually 2.4 where they come out. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave. That's, again, is 3.4. So she's reliving all of this, all at the same time. Right? Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave. Even so.
To bed, to bed. There is nothing at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. This gun cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
Ah, right. So, to bed, to bed, to bed. That's knocking at the gate. So again, this is again back to 2.2, where we hear the knocking, and Macbeth is like, "Wake Duncan with thy knocking! I wish thou couldst." Right? To bed, to bed, to bed, to bed. What's done cannot be undone. Right? I'm going to underline this one with this felt tip here. What's done cannot be undone. What's done cannot be undone. What did she say earlier in the play that sounds a little bit like that? What's done is done. Right? So in Act 2, Scene 2, she says, wash your hands. What's done is done. Get over it. It's fine. And now, complete flip. What's done cannot be undone. So she has completely changed her thinking about what happens earlier on. Okay. So this, of course, is the reverse of earlier, right? Where she says, "What's done is done." And the thing is, she's not wrong, is she? But she gets it the wrong way around. She thinks you can get over things by just accepting them, but she's unable to accept it. Exit. That's the last time we see her. The next time we see her, hear about her, she has, what many people think she has done is thrown herself off the tower. It's the last. This is her last words, right? To bed, to bed, to bed. Will she go now to bed? So yes. Foul whisperings are abroad. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. So he suggests here that how do I describe this? That she's brought it on herself. Her unnatural deed is the unsex me here bit. Do breed unnatural troubles. So there's an idea here that it must be her fault. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. So she needs God, right? God is better than a doctor. So it's not her body that's sick, it's her spirit, her mind. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove her from the means of all annoyance. I'll come back to that. Remove her from the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak. So he's scared, right? So my mind she has mated to confuse and amaze my sight, but he's scared. What do you think he means here? He says this: remove from her the means of all annoyance. So keep an eye on her, right? Keep an eye on her. Remove from the means of annoyance. If I said to you after this, the kind of thing the gentlewoman might do is she might go and get all the knives out of the room, perhaps. They're worried she's going to commit suicide. Right? The means of all annoyance are things that you could use to kill yourself. Right? Gentlewoman? Thank you. Good night. Good night to you as well. Right? Good night, good doctor. There you go. So, there you go. That's our final scene. So, the key thing is, first of all, we have here is very obviously she has gone completely mad. Right? She's sleepwalking, and her brain is flicking between these different moments of her guilt of what she's done as a part of the murder plot, right? Trying to control Macbeth, reliving these conversations like they're going round and round and round in her brain, and they're very, very worried that she's going to die. But notice how she's changed. At the beginning of the play, here is a woman that has incredible levels of power, right? She tells her husband what to do. She controls him. She loses control over him, and then loses control over herself. Okay. The one thing that I forgot to talk about was, if you go right back to the beginning, please, right back to the beginning. Here, says here, when was it she last walked? It says, since His Majesty went into the field. So it was when Macbeth left. To go into the field is to go off to fight. So there's an idea here that their relationship is completely just non-existent. They don't really spend any time together. That's what they've lost as well.